Hello, I'm Robert Shelide, Chief of Police for Shelby Township, and welcome to Straight Talk. Today, our special guest is Lieutenant Mark Benedettini. Lieutenant, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Chief. Nice to be here.
Thanks for coming on.
Yep.
You've been on before as a sergeant several times, and now you're walking around with the gold bars.
Yep.
Got promoted back in April. Congratulations.
Thank you. Everything's going well. I'm on a shift right now, and like I said, everything's going real well.
I'm glad to hear it.
Yep.
I know you're doing a great job for us, and we're very proud of you.
Thank you.
But specifically, we have you here to talk about school safety. You were in charge of the school resource officers when you were a sergeant, and now you're a lieutenant, and you have a lot of insight into what they do on a daily basis. So we have two high schools in the township, Utica High and Utica Eisenhower, and we have school resource officers known as SROs at both schools. Can you tell our audience a little bit about what they do at these schools?
Sure. Well, I know a big priority of yours is always school safety, keeping the kids in the community safe. You know, when they go to school, they shouldn't have to feel threatened or worried if they're going to come home at night. They should be able to go to school, get an education, learn without having that fear in the back of their head. So what we try to do is we try to implement safety measures in our schools to make them feel safe and also to protect the students and staff of the schools. So we have Officer Lauren Weiss. She's the school resource officer at Eisenhower High School. And Officer Gabe Aceti, he's the school resource officer at Utica High School. There's somebody at the schools all the time whenever school is in session. So if one of them are sick, we will get somebody from the road or call somebody in for overtime to make sure that school is staffed with the police officer. So there's always going to be somebody at that school protecting that school. Both of them are very well trained. They're very well liked in their schools, and they're very good in their roles. So it's definitely a top priority to keep the schools safe and have them in the schools at all times.
Yeah, it's a great thing that they're over there. I know that they make a lot of partnerships and friends with the kids. I've been to Eisenhower several times to visit Lauren up there. I've not been over to see Gabe, but when I see Lauren in action, she's getting high-fived by all the kids. They all know her name, a very popular person up there, and she's got influence, and the kids know that she's there to keep them safe. And the most important thing, unfortunately, in this day and age, they're there in case anybody wants to come in and try to do anything stupid, and they're both ready to go. They both have the weapons to take care of business, and they know what their responsibility is.
Correct. I think you've said it before, where you could, throw a dart at a map, and that's where the next active shooter could be at. There's no way to predict this stuff. So, they're both ready to go. We've had a lot of training with them, and as a whole, as our department as well, we've all trained. Heaven forbid, if an active shooter at a school were to come out, we are all trained. We've done single-man entry training. We've had a large mock training at Shepherd's Gate Church a few years ago, where the late Sergeant Dan Camerzell helped organize. And that was a huge training where a lot of kids from the schools were there. Mass casualty incident, and we trained with the fire department.
Blue coming out!
So if something were to go down at our schools, our department is definitely going to be prepared to respond correctly. Also put in a lot of other safety measures in with the schools. For example, we have live feeds, camera feeds into all of our schools in the Utica community schools. And so if there was an incident in one of the schools, we can pull up directly in the school, look exactly what is happening in real time to find out what is going on. A few weeks ago on my shifts, there was a parent of one of the elementary schools causing a scene right outside the main doors as school was getting out. So we sent officers on the way there because they were arguing with the school staff, and we were able to pull up the camera from the school, and I could see in real time what was going on outside the school. And nothing ended up happening, but it's just nice to have that technology to be able to zoom in on that live feed and see what's going on. So if there were an active shooter in the school, like I said, we could zoom in, find out where area the school he's in. All this, there's a lot of safety measures that we have put in there to help keep these schools safe.
I agree with you. In working with Robert Monroe, the administrator for the district, he's really helped with some changes that I wanted to implement from day one. Where the old administration I had a little bit of a hard time with, and when he took over, he's really helped us, obviously with the cameras and everything like that, and our SROs and supporting them. Now, since you made a comment before about how important this is, and obviously as chief of police here, I've made this our number one priority is keep the kids safe. on a daily basis. Our officers have to check these schools every day. That's their assignment. They have to be there, be present, and they're doing a great job with it. But we are going to keep the kids safe in this township. That's the bottom line, and they're going to feel safe. I mean, I can't imagine going into school and being scared to be there, and we're not going to allow that. And our officers do a great job. I'm very proud of the partnership with the administration and the school and the teachers and everybody. And I know you're instrumental in making sure your officers get over there on a daily basis also.
Yes, definitely. It's like you said, it's a priority of this department to keep these officers safe. And I filled in as a school resource officer back when I was a patrol officer for about 4 or 5 months when we were going through a transition. And it's definitely a very unique job in this department. It's like its own little city in some of these schools.
Yeah.
You know, you have to deal with the administration and the students, and it's definitely a very unique job and a very important job of this department. And I enjoyed my time there. I met some school staff that I'm still friends with to this day. So it's definitely a unique job, but rewarding job as well.
I agree with you. We also have one of our officers over at Utica High School teaching law enforcement. It's one of the most unique programs in the state of Michigan. What do you know about this?
Yeah, Officer James Noblesdorf, he's a longtime veteran. He's a very, very smart guy. He's worked in the community services unit with me for several years, and I've learned a lot from him. He teaches 5 classes for Utica Community Schools. He teaches out of Utica High School. And these are classes where if you go to Macomb and law enforcement, credits can transfer to Macomb Community College. So you can earn some college credits while you're going through high school here and taking these courses with this law enforcement program that Officer Noblesdorf is teaching. It's a very valuable program, and so far I believe over 125 kids that are taking advantage of this program, and I've heard nothing but good things so far.
Yeah, we have we hire 18-year-old cadets nowadays. Mm-hmm. So my idea when I authorized this or implemented the idea was to Jim get over there, be an ambassador for law enforcement, which he's doing. Okay, he's a great representative. He's very knowledgeable. He loves the kids over there. They love him. And introducing them to the truth about us, what our profession stands for. And Jim is over there doing the opposite of what the national media trying to paint us, where they try to paint us as bad people and, you know, bad for the country. And Jim is actually in with the kids directly. And I love that. Now, also, if you're interested in law enforcement, a lot of kids, you don't need to go away to college to be a police officer, okay? You could stay right and go to Macomb. That's what I did when I was a young man and went to Macomb, and it was a stepping stone towards getting my 4-year degree. And Jim is in a position where he can influence kids. We have to start getting young people involved in law enforcement again. We used to have huge numbers trying to get our jobs. Nowadays, it's really fallen off.
I agree 100%. When I first started in law enforcement, I went into a room of about 400 people testing against for like 2 or 3 spots. So nowadays you can kind of pick and choose where you want to go. So it's very competitive out there. But Jim's doing a great job bridging that gap with these kids. I was talking to Jim last week. He told me there was a girl in his school. He talked with the parents of one of the girls in his class. And the parents told Jim that she looks forward to this class. This is what she looks forward to every day, is coming into your class. So
I love it.
It just shows that some of these kids are really taking value in this class and that he's teaching.
Our police officers make good money. They make good money. They make enough money to raise a family. You could get hired as a young kid here, 21, 22 years old, and within a few years be making great money. Being around and seeing what's going on in the economy and everything like that, these kids have to go away to school. They come out with $150,000 in debt, student debt, and they have to go try to pay this off. You go into the law enforcement track, you literally can go to school at Macomb here for peanuts, become a Shelby Township police cadet, and by the time you're 21, get hired as an officer and kind of have it made. Right?
I agree. It's a great opportunity. It's a great department to work for. Of course, I'm biased because I work here, but I honestly mean that it's a great department to work for. We have great equipment, great morale, a great group of guys and girls that work for us. And like I said, a lot of different bureaus that you can, if you want to go into the detective bureau or tactical response unit, there's a lot of different avenues you can take. So it's definitely a great opportunity.
Our community demands it.
I agree.
We have a great community.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. We have a great community. We have full support of the community, 100%, and we're very lucky and blessed to have the support of the community.
I agree.
So
we also have 2 outstanding police officers that Lieutenant Benedettini mentioned that are in the high schools. Lauren Weiss is at Utica Eisenhower. Let's take a look at Lauren in action.
Smells good in here. What are we making? Pizza? We got cookies on the clock. Love it. So this is my second year as a school resource officer, and I'm excited. I know kind of what to expect. I know the kids way better, and it's going to be an exciting year. Yeah, because you're probably nice, right? You're probably respectful. So in my second year, I am really trying to hone in on being more involved with the kids. I was extremely involved last year with them, but obviously every year I want to try and be as involved as possible. And now that I know the things that the school does, I have it on my calendar, so I know that I can be as involved as possible. Every Friday there's a football game. Some of them are home, some are away. So I've been at every Eisenhower football game this past year, and it is a riot. The kids in the student section are crazy. They love it. Our football team is phenomenal, so it's a great atmosphere to be a part of. I try to be as involved with the student section as I can, hype them up. It's an extremely fun atmosphere to be a part of. We had our Powder Puff game. I coached the juniors this year. I had the seniors last year. And we unfortunately did lose, but my juniors, they played with a ton of heart. They were very fun to watch. It was extremely competitive. They played with class, and I respect them a lot for doing that, and I'm excited to see how they do next year. So this job is just so much more than the school day. I do a lot of stuff outside of school that I don't necessarily get compensated for, that I just do because I want to be a part of it. What have you been doing? My biggest thing is to form relationships with these kids because it's important. And coming into year 2, I already know a lot of the kids from year 1, even though some of them have graduated. So coming into year 2, I've seen a lot of them after their summer break, and it was kind of just, we picked up where we left off. Is how was your summer? What did you do? How is this? What are you looking forward to this year? How are your grades? And all of those things, not just school aspects, but also life aspects, what's going on in their personal life. It's important to look at the school aspect and ask them questions about their school and their education, but it is extremely important to ask them about their life outside of school, because they want to feel like they are cared about, and that's what I feel is important. My job as a school resource officer, number 1, is to keep these kids safe. That is my job, that's what I'm here to do, but also I'm here to be involved and to kind of break the barrier between law enforcement and the public. And it's extremely important at a young age for, again, the kids to see me in a positive light, being a police officer, and interacting with them and showing them that we are people too. And that's the biggest thing. And again, my job is to keep them safe, but I also am trying to interact with them as much as I can because it is extremely important, especially being young. The thing I enjoy most about this job is how much the youth keeps me young. And I am young. I'm younger than the school resource officers in the past, but it is interesting to see how they look at life and to look at it from their point of view and how the generation has changed. And they keep me on my toes. They keep me young, they keep me active, and I love that. You want to talk nice about me? The admin is fantastic. I love every single principal, every single staff member. I felt so welcomed coming in at my first year last year, and I've formed relationships with them outside of work now, and they're great people. They're great to work with. They back us as a police department, and we back them as well. So it's great working with people who understand the importance of a police officer being inside the school for school safety, and it just makes it 10 times better. Izzy, a ray of sunshine. Hello. How are you?
Officer Weiss brings so much to the table, not only in the law enforcement, but the collaboration and the partnership that she builds not only with our students, but our staff and our community. So it is a partnership between Shelby Township Police, but also with Officer Weiss and our community. And when it all comes together, it's really about making sure the kids know that they're safe here, but it builds a safety mechanism around the entire building, that they have an ability to go to Officer Weiss, go to us, and it's that partnership that really brings everything together.
So as a school resource officer, I obviously have a lot of contact with parents whenever their kids are involved in a good incident and sometimes a bad incident. And it's important for us to kind of have that line of communication. I'm the first person they talk to whenever there is an incident involving myself being in the school. And I've tried to maintain a good relationship with these parents so they know that I am here for the school safety and I am here to protect their kids and I care about their kids. And I feel like I have developed good relationships with the parents of these kids here at Eisenhower. How's it going? This year I'm really looking forward to our boat races coming up in the winter time. It's where all the kids, they make cardboard boats and they put them in the pool and they race them. That was a really fun part of the year last year. I actually ended up getting in one of the boats and racing with some of the kids, and my photo ended up being on one of the National School Resource Officer competition and ended up winning it. So that was pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that. And then our theater actually has a play coming up at the start of November called The Wizard of Oz. I'm really looking forward to watching that. And they do a musical in the springtime too that I went to last year. It's phenomenal. I loved watching it. I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm really looking forward to the rest of the sporting events we got going on, the girls basketball, boys basketball, and just kind of doing all the different events that Eisenhower has to offer to these kids. It's fun being a part of everything that they do for the kids.
So a little behind the scenes action, sneak peek at Officer Lauren Weiss in action. Officer Weiss was hired as a Shelby Township police cadet several years ago. She's continued to impress not only myself, but all the members of our department with her tenacity, her dedication to duty. And then now she literally up at that high school and she's there and she's involved and she does an incredible job for us.
Yeah, she sure does. She worked the road for a few years when she got hired here. I worked with her dad. Her dad was a member of our department for several years. And she kind of followed in his footsteps, and she wanted this role as a school resource officer, and she's embraced it. Students all love her, but if she needs to take care of business, because I read these reports that she writes, if a student gets out of hand, if there's a fight or anything going on, she'll take care of business. She's not afraid to take care of business as well.
She's tough too.
Totally.
Basketball player in high school, and she's tough. I don't want to mess with her. I'll tell you that right now.
I agree. So she's definitely a great asset to the school, and she's a perfect fit for it.
I agree. Yeah. Let's switch gears over to Utica High. We have Officer Gabe Aceti, who happened to be a lieutenant colonel in the military, and you supervised him directly for a while and worked with him closely with our youth academy. So what do you know about Gabe?
That's correct. Officer Gabe Aceti, he's, I believe, a 20-year veteran of our department. He has a lot of military experience. He ended up wanting the school resource officer at Utica High School when a position came available, and he took over that position, and he's done a magnificent job there as well. He also, in the summertime, he handles the youth academy.
Class, attention!
Honor, respect, responsibility!
When we first had him in the youth academy, I really wasn't sure what to expect with him. It was his first time doing it, and he basically took the program over. I just had to sit back and drink my coffee, and Officer Aceti was running it. He kept these kids in line, and it was a lot of fun, and he really enjoys it. And like I said, he's a great fit for that role as well. So
let's go over to Utica High and take a look at Officer Gabe Aceti in action, who also happens to be a lieutenant colonel in the United States Army.
Hello. This is my second year at Utica High School as a school resource officer. Things are going great. I absolutely love my job. I love coming to work every day. The atmosphere here at Utica High School is really amazing. Between the student body, between the administrators, between the teachers, and the relationship that the school has with the police department, it really is a great environment to be a part of. What's up, crew?
What's up, Officer Aceti?
How are you? The job of a school resource officer, first and foremost, is to keep the building and everybody in it safe. I'm here every day that the kids are here. I'm a resource for the students if they have any questions about law enforcement, if there's anything going on at school, outside of school that the police need to know about in order to keep the situation under control and keep the kids safe. That is my primary reason for being here. Hey, ladies. A day in the life of a school resource officer here at Utica High School. Typically I come to work, get here at the building around 6:45, 6:30, 6:45. The kids are still coming into the building. I'll check my email, I'll check my inbox to make sure there's nothing in there that I need to deal with. I'll greet the kids as they enter the building. Usually I'll be out front by our new traffic light on Shelby Road, just making sure that the crossing guard has everything that he needs. There's no issues out there that I need to deal with. I'll walk the entire perimeter of the school, checking all the doors, making sure everything is secure, making sure that there's nobody in the building that shouldn't be here. And I'm in the halls with the kids, available for their questions, available as a resource for the staff for whatever needs they may have for the police department. And yeah, really is a good environment to be a part of. How's your day going? All right? Did you have a nice weekend?
Great, man. Excellent. Relaxing, sleeping in.
Yeah.
What more could I ask for?
Got to sleep in.
Yeah,
Nice.
how about you? How's your week?
What I love the most about me, my job is being available to the student body.
Oh, close.
People ask me why I became a police officer. I don't want to say my standard response, but I've always been a firm believer that I wanted to be in a position to help people, to make people's lives better, to make people's day a little bit better. And I have that opportunity here at Utica High School. It's every interaction, more interactions I have with the students are positive than in a negative light.
What's up, Ollie? How are you?
We're not interacting because, I pulled somebody over, because we were responding to a call for service at somebody's house or something like that. It's more of a positive interaction that we have.
Morning, Lori.
And I have that relationship with the students where they can, ask me questions, and I'm able to feel like I can give advice and kind of guide them along their paths to make their, choices a little bit easier for them. A lot of issues that are brought to me as a school resource officer are brought by the kids. A lot of them have things to do, things to do with outside the school, things happening after hours, at work, maybe at sporting events, things that are going on online, things like that I need to be a part of in order to diffuse them or deal with them before they become a bigger problem. Here at the school, I get a lot of things that more like a resource, just talking to the kids, answering questions that they may have, being a guest speaker in classes, just making myself available for whatever they may have. So I feel it's important to make that connection with the students at this level, at this age group, because a lot of them, they've never had an interaction with the police department in any capacity. And if they have, chances are it was a traffic stop or something negative, where I'm trying to make that a positive relationship so that they feel free talking with the police department to see, one, we're people too. Two, we're the good guys, we're here for them. And be able to get them to trust us at that level, given all the negative publicity and everything going on out there that's on the news and social media going around. I feel that I can best combat that by showing that, we're people too. We are the good guys and we're here for them.
Hey, Savannah.
Hi.
What's up, Eddie?
Well, in year two, I'm just looking forward to continuing what we started in year one. I got the relationship with the students down. I got the relationships with the teachers down. We're kind of over that initial period. We're still trying to learn who we are, to, figure each other out. They feel comfortable working with me, and I certainly feel a lot more comfortable working with them. And they're coming to me with more questions, asking different, situations, things like that. A lot of them are traffic related, like, oh, can I turn right on red here, if, whatever the case may be. But that's good because we built that relationship. We're to the point where they feel comfortable coming up to me and giving me information and asking me questions like that. So just looking forward to continuing that great relationship we already have.
That was a behind-the-scenes look of Officer Gabe Aceti in action at Utica High. He does a great job for us. When he's over there, there's no worries. We know he's taking care of business, right?
100%. Yep. He's, like I said, his prior military experience, military background. He's a lot of experience on the road, being as a patrol officer, and 100% confident that school is safe when he's there.
No, the producer was telling us earlier that he knows all the kids' names. He knows everybody's name at the school. She was impressed.
Yep, she was impressed. And that just shows, just like with Officer Weiss, you form a bond with these kids. And I believe Officer Weiss said last year when we were talking one time that she kind of looks at these kids like her own kids, wants to protect them like her own kids. And that's what we love to hear.
I love it.
Yep.
Lauren made a comment to me before, and this was in private. I probably shouldn't say this, but she said, I would take a bullet for any of these kids. And you know what I told her? No. You're not taking a bullet. You're going to dish the bullets out. You have to have that mentality.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I think, and I saw the look on her face. She understood what I was saying. Like, you're not going to be a victim. You're going to be, you're going to take care of business. One of the things I wanted to mention that we didn't mention that I think is kind of neat and I'm proud of is that both high schools, our school resource officers drive vehicles with special graphics. What do you know about that?
Yeah, so if you go by the schools, you'll see them parked in the front of the schools. That's what the school resource officers drive. Officer Gabe Aceti drives the Utica High School. It's a police car, but it's got Utica chieftain graphics on it. And Officer Weiss drives the Eisenhower police car, SRO police car with the graphics for the Eisenhower High School. And it's pretty cool. Just like I said, you see them parked in front of the schools during the school day. And
I think the kids at the schools designed them.
They did.
Too.
Yep,
Yeah,
a couple
very
years
nice.
ago.
Nice
So.
touch for them and
Yep.
have some pride in what they do. I love it.
Yep.
So thank you for coming on the show.
Yep, thanks for having me.
Discussing the school resource officers and our relationship with UCS. You've been watching Straight Talk. We'll see you next month.